He is currently running for governor of California. Wow, and he's on our show and is the author of San Francisco, Why Progressives Ruin Cities, Michael Shellenberger. And here's a columnist for the New York Post and author of the best-selling book, The War on the West, How to Prevail in the Age of Unreason, Douglas Murray. How you doing? Okay, guys, let me start with an impossible question to ask you. We were off last week when... What? You're afraid already?
Yeah.
Well, it's impossible, so you can't fuck it up. I already said it's impossible. No pressure. Well, the question is this. I mean, after that horror unfolded, there was first the outrage about availability of weaponry in America, and then there was a second outrage about the fact that the cops stood outside and didn't do anything. And this is becoming a pattern in America. Parkland, there was a cop there, or a security guard, didn't do his job. The Mandalay Bay, the guy went up to the wrong floor and stayed there. What do you do about people who are paid to act and just don't? How do you solve that problem? Because, I mean, they could take away a lot of different kinds of guns. I mean, this kid was in the room for 40 minutes before anybody came in. It wouldn't have mattered what kind of gun he had. Any kind of gun could do any amount of damage in that time. What do you do about law enforcement who don't do their job? Here's the impossible question.
I mean, I think there was this initial reaction that these police officers were cowardly. I don't think we know that. I have to expect that. I have to expect that many of those police officers are having a hard time sleeping at night after what's occurred.
Oh, I feel bad for them.
Well, I mean, I think
they should have a hard time sleeping.
Yeah, although
what the fuck?
My concern is that I think when our institutions fail us, we are so quick to want to shut down the institutions, want to demonize the people in those institutions. Yes, they got training. The training didn't work. The answer to it is going to be more training. It's going to be to get better at it. We focus on when things go wrong, but things mostly don't go wrong. Well, we need to learn from these mistakes.
It's not institutions, it's people. This is not institutions who didn't run into the building. It's people. People didn't do it. That's not an institution. And, by the way, this is part of the problem with police training. Their training is all about how to preserve their life. Now, of course, we want them to be as safe as they can, but it is a job that entails danger. Somewhere they got it into their head, the cops, that it's better that I just preserve my health, but you're there to protect and serve us. That's the deal. You get to... walk tall all the time. Everybody kisses your ass. Everybody has to comply with you. And then once in a while, you just have to ball up and do the job. It's dangerous.
I was always told when I came to America from Britain that British people who speak like me should never talk about two things, abortion and guns, because we can never understand it. And there is something in that. I actually have tried very hard to understand, and I do understand why the gun issue exists in America, the people who are very committed to it, who see the Second Amendment as an absolutely crucial part of America's freedoms. And I understand their fear always that, like, the guns are going to be taken away. Nevertheless, saying as an outsider, it's still inexplicable to me that a guy at the age of 18 can go into a shop and buy a battlefield-style weapon, and he would have to wait another 3 years to buy a beer in a bar. There is something... Just at the first step, let's at least switch those two things around. Like, let's get used to beer before we try to get used to battlefield weapons.
And the 18 to 21 thing, I think, is crucial. I mean, guys, we're all guys. We know how stupid we were at 18, right? Yeah. Especially men. They mature slower than women, and not that you're a genius at 21. But taking those 3 years away, the least we could do.
And at the moment, there's this weird row going on again. People saying in Congress, well, people are allowed to join the military at 18. Well, there is every difference in the world between going into the military, getting the most rigorous training, getting your force directed in specific ways, and just handing an 18-year-old a gun that he can use on the American streets. There is every difference. But the problem is you're just always at this stalemate in this country about this, because they say, like, every time some atrocity like this happens, there's somebody who can say they're going to take away all of our guns and then nothing gets done again. But as for the police stuff, I mean, this is just, as you say, Bill, I mean, this has happened again and again. It's hard to judge what you do in a particular situation, but as you say, you know, it's their job. To sit in a corridor for 40 minutes whilst kids are calling and not run in. Like,
yes.
I'd have liked to have seen, if there'd have been a bunch of American mothers with guns in the corridor, they'd have been in there in no seconds flat.
And they were.
Yeah, there were mums. There were mums.
Did go in.
There were mums.
Yes.
And they were getting arrested by
Right.
the police and tasered by the police and handcuffed by the police for wanting to go into the school.
Because job one is always compliance.
Right.
With the police.
Yes.
Do
Health
what
and
I
safety
say
at the
above
shoot.
all.
Yeah.